Hello candidates, I am going to dictate you a passage based on Drdo. So please get ready for the dictation. The dictation will start after 15 seconds. Apparently, the Park Bay area is being jointly patrolled by the Indian Navy and the Coast Guards. A total of 7 coastal sections have been set up, out of which at any time 5 are manned depending upon the season, the northeast monsoon or the southwest monsoon. We are also in dialogue with the Sri Lankan authorities along the international maritime border. Joint patrolling between us and the Sri Lankan authorities are conducted to ensure that there is no transgression of fishermen either from the Sri Lankan side into the Indian waters or from the Indian fishermen from the Indian side into the Sri Lankan waters. Schemes have been put in place where fishermen have been issued identity cards to ensure that legitimate fishermen undertake fishing activities in the traditional waters. Steps have been put in place primarily to help our fishermen so that they do not stray into the Sri Lankan water and get apprehended by the Sri Lankan authorities, because thereafter their release is coordinated with the Coast Guard. Unfortunately, due to the tsunami disaster which took place, the joint patrolling between the Coast Guard, Indian Navy and the Sri Lankan authorities temporarily discontinued. That has since been started again. We have not had any major incident of fishermen having been harassed either by the Sri Lankan authorities incorrectly or large migration of Indian fishermen onto the other side. Steps has been reviewed from time to time. We are there to ensure that the safety of our fishermen is ensured at all time. At the same time, what happens is that there is an increase of narcotics smuggling in that area, and a number of catches have been made in which either the narcotics were to be smuggled out of the coast or they were coming or bringing in. So this kind of thing is there. Therefore, the Coast Guards and the local police have to be very much alert so that this kind of thing would not take place. Now, there are instances where the local police and the intelligence bureau have given good timely warning. Therefore, these things could be intercepted and we have recovered those things. So we want them to be more effective in guarding the coastal areas. Actually, this is a joint operation. The information from various sources is gathered. There is sharing of information between the Coast Guard and the concerned organization, whether it is the local police or the intelligence bureau. Based on that, we have been able to apprehend all this. Certainly, that is a factor which has to be kept in mind when this kind of incident happened there. There is a steep quantitative increase in the land-related litigation and other appeals and litigation under the provisions of the Cantonments Act. There are about 15,000 cases pending in various courts. There is a requirement of additional officers at different levels to ensure efficient management of litigation and also to ensure prevention and removal of unauthorized construction and encroachments on defense lands. There is an acute shortage of officers and staff to meet the functional demands of armed forces. All wings of armed forces have repeatedly requested for establishing defense states offices at strategic locations to enable them to manage land efficiently and to formulate new projects without delays. The Standing Committee on Defense made various recommendations suggesting modifications to the Cantonments Bill 2003. Since the cantonments are administered by cantonment boards and users of land in the cantonments are the services, consultations had to be made with the three services and the Directorate General of Defense States. The present status is that the Cantonments Bill 2003 has been modified and has been sent for vetting to the Ministry of Law, Justice and Company Affairs. After the vetting of the modified Cantonments Bill 2003 and approval of the Cabinet, the Cantonment Bill 2003 will be placed in the Parliament. With effect from 1/1/2006, the weightage for the purpose of calculations of pension for past as well as future retirees, Sepoy, Naik and Havaldar and equivalent ranks in Navy and Air Force has been increased from 5 years to 10, 8 and 6 years respectively, subject to a maximum qualifying service of 30 years. In case a person is getting more than 13 years with existing weightage of 5 years, he will continue getting that. The above benefits would be only in respect of service pension, including invalid pension, service element of disability pension and war injury pension. In addition, pension of personnel below officer's rank granted assured career progression upgradation would be computed with reference to the enhanced pay scale granted under ACP. The above benefits would meet the demand of the ex-servicemen to a large extent as revision of pension with reference to maximum pay of the post 1/1/1996 pay scales in the case of pre-1/1/1996 retirees would in effect mean parity in pension between pre and post 1/1/1996 retiree PBOR. The long-standing demand of one rank, one pension has been examined by the government, considering the relevant factors and various aspects including additional financial liability and repercussions elsewhere. It has not been found feasible to accept the demand. However, government has significantly improved pensionary benefits of PBOR. As far as welfare points are concerned, we have plenty of them. In a nutshell, I would like to say that parity in pension, which have been claiming for the last 3 decades, that is one rank, one pension. Secondly, 50% pay as pension. You know, all the civilian retirees get 50% pension of their pay, whereas army person do not do that. One main difficulty is our jawans are retired compulsorily. Actually, I would like to say it is very important that jawans must be looked after. He is the main person who fights the war. To my mind, officers can look after themselves. They are educated. Private pension to ex-servicemen who had put in 10 years plus service in the light of a court relief to few ex-servicemen which must be implemented to all affected soldiers. It should also be considered by new Armed Forces Tribunal, which is the making.